Welcome to this introductory video on PowerConnect by BuildSoft. When you first open the application by double clicking on the icon, you're greeted with this welcome screen. From here you can then make your choices which will determine which standard you want to work in. As you can see, we have Eurocode, IS800 and ASIC, and you can then choose whether you want to do a moment connection, a shear connection or a hollow section connection. If you look, you see Eurocode has quite a few different types of connections, and they're based in groups or rows along here. So for instance, you've got a bolted moment connection with end plate, and you can move right across to a beam to beam end plate. You also have the ability to look at cleats on beam flanges. You also have welded connections and also base plate construction. You also have shear connections with you have then flexible end plates, bolted cleats and also fin plate connections. And under the hollow section you see we have lots of different configurations. Just choose whichever configuration you would like to work with. For this example, I'm just going to use a Eurocode moment connection, and I'm going to do a bolted moment end plate connection. I click on OK, and it brings up a dialog box which enables you then to make further changes before you commit to building your model. As you can see, it's quite easy to use. From here you can then choose whether you want to use a different steel or different steel types. I would choose, for instance, say S355. You can then choose whether types of bolts you want to use. The default is 20, but you can choose M18, M16, or you can also change the classification as well. You have the ability to change the minimum distance around the bolt heads. It allows spanner access, including vertical and horizontal distance. And also you have the ability to change the column and the beam by just clicking on one of these icons, which goes to the material library. If I click on this one, we have different types. We have the Eurocodes, we have UK, we have USA, and you can choose any of the beam types which you like. So for instance, I'm going to use a HEA, which is Eurocode or a Europe standard, and I'm going to make the column to be, say, 300. It will automatically put that in there, and you can see that it's put in HEA 300, and I can do the beam. I'm going to just change it to an IPE. Once again, you have different steel configurations, and I'm going to change this to IPE 360. And within the beam you have some further information you can add in. So for instance, you might want to add in length. So currently at the moment it's set at 5000 millimeters, which is 5 meters, but I want to make it, say, shall we say 7.5, so I'll make it to 75,000 millimeters. And you can have an angle, positive or negative, of say 12 degrees. You can also set the default weld sizes here if you wish to, but that will be explained further in a further video later on. You have the end plate. You can change the thickness as well as the width, and if you look at this little icon here, this will tell you some further information. So for instance, CB is the flange width and CF is the flange thickness, and you can overwrite them, but they take the defaults based upon the geometry from the material library. So I'm just going to say yes, and I'll accept this, and it quickly builds the model. And there you have the model in front of you with the welds already defined, as well as the bolts and the end plate. What you might want to do is change a bit of the visualization. I can do that quite easily by right clicking anywhere on the background, and I can change the background color. So you can pick any of these colors here, which some people like to use some of these vivid colors, or you can define your own, but I prefer to work in white, so I'm going to change mine to white. And then also you have the ability to change the model color. You can have the slate grey, which is quite nice. A lot of people work in that, but I actually work within the blue one, so I'm going to change that to blue. And also you can have a model perspective on. It comes on with this perspective already displayed, but you can change that easily to non-perspective, which is what I prefer. It tends to make the model a bit easier to look at. Using the middle mouse button of your mouse, you can then scroll in and out if you have a scroll key. If you push and hold the middle one down, you can move it around. And also if you hold the shift and then the middle mouse button, you can actually rotate it round. If you haven't got that, we give you some other options with the ability to use these slider bars at the side here and here, which then gives you the ability to move the model with if you haven't got a middle mouse button. And that's how easy it is to create a model within PowerConnect. In further videos we will show you how to do some further changes to the model, like bolts, welds, and adding extra features like haunches, different plates and side bracing.